here is amazing video. Thank you to Adequate Emily to bring this to our attention of a YouTube advert, and I get some fantastic YouTube adverts just from like the stuff I have to search for researching videos means that like it is interesting. Every month the things I'm suggesting are completely different from the previous month because I'm now working on a completely different topic. But this is a completely just wild video for children's books, I believe, as the product.
Yeah, and I mean, just this first image is a vibe I want to cultivate in myself. It's so hard.
Right, let me know in the chat if this doesn't make sound. Also, let me know if it does, because that'll be reassuring. I muted it, didn't I?
Stop it, Vlad.
Vlad is amazing. No.
We must seize the means of production. Stop it, Vlad. You know the rule. If you want to regulate something, go regulate the mess in your room. It seems a big part about being a mom these days.
I just love that the rule is no like. What does that mean in like a practical sense? No hat.
Regulate the mess in your room. What does that mean? Like,
but that's like
categorize it.
That's like American conservatism of like communism is regulation, isn't it? It's like that is what it means. It's red tape.
Yeah, but the implication is that there's an acceptable amount of of mess in the room for you to regulate.
Socialism in one bedroom.
If you want to regulate something, go regulate the mess in your room. It seems a big part about being a mom these days is helping your kids unlearn the crazy ideas.
Is this a controversy that has happened?
I've never seen Peppa Pig, but I can't believe I've been missing out.
I will say, like lockdown 1 or 2, maybe I can't remember. Me and some friends were doing like a Zoom quiz thing each week, and we do like a specialist round or whatever. And the friends that are a couple with a baby, who are the only friends in that group that have a child, I think, were like, well, you've all been doing other stuff, we're going to do Peppa Pig as our, like, because that's like basically our entire lives. And so like I watched a few episodes to sort of, we'd read the Wikipedia page, but
right.
But I was like, I need something to like hook all this knowledge on. I watched a couple of episodes, and actually quite funny. Like there's quite a lot of like good little jokes for the like I could watch it.
Is it communist?
I don't know. I don't know whether this is
like into season 3 you get into like the real fucking like deep shit, like the deep lore of the Peppa Pig community, like where they like hang one of the leader pigs by his ankles off the lamppost. And
I mean, like judging by this advert, it's probably that like Peppa Pig once shared their I'm okay, I don't actually know. Peppa Pig once shared their cookies, presumably with the other pigs, and that's like Alexander McDonough in the chat saying Peppa and George go to the Kremlin. Maybe that is an episode.
It might well be like Peppa inspires revolution in Cuba. Like
there must at least have been the Bay of Peppa Pig.
yeah, there we go.
There must be like at least some like sort of like mocked up controversy about Peppa Pig that this is based upon. This can't just be like completely random. I mean, I love it even more if it is. But also, look how happy everyone else is in that picture. like if I was coming up with this, I would make it like a sort of evil. I don't know. I'd make this look less cool.
Yeah, I mean, it does look dope.
Is they're exposed to in the world.
Mom, I just found out that if I run into the TV fast enough, I'll become a cartoon.
Nope, that will kill you. And it's not just.
That's a legit. Probably not a legit problem. I very doubt that the child has tried to run into the TV, but that's at least a legit like. I think across the political divide, we can agree that children should not run into the TV.
I believe children should have the right to run into whatever they feel like it.
Learn from their own mistakes.
Without the oppression of adults in the community.
Yeah, she should let him learn by his own mistakes and be a whatever doesn't kill him makes him stronger.
We're going Rousseau on this. Just let the kids live their own lives.
Normal kid stuff. Now, my kids are being told by the media and even the school system that socialism is great.
Mama, if we just get rid of all these successful people, we'll finally be happy.
I think my favourite thing about this is that they had to buy a copy of Karl Marx's Selected Writings.
Yeah.
Which must be... I wonder what sort of budget this has.
I look, it's better produced than any of my videos, so it's definitely something.
They've got angles.
Yeah.
I don't do angles. I can't be bothered with angles. That's
they
like...
had a crew.
Yeah, these must be... I wonder what it's like trying to hire actors for this kind of... Like, is it just people that are so ground down that they're like, yeah... Like, imagine, like, when your agent rings you up and goes, like, okay, I've got you this advert. It's for, like, an online advert.
I suspect that the mum, at least, is maybe someone who's related to or involved in the product being sold.
I'm going to say she's not a bad actor. And the child is what you would expect from a child actor. So,
yeah,
like...
the child, it's just, you know, I'm sure there are conservative actors and desperate actors, but there's something like, maybe this is mean, there's something hollow in the eyes of the woman, and maybe that is just because she hates doing it.
Watching the world in the chat is saying that the irony is that most actors are in unions, and I was going to say, I wonder if there's like a right-wing equity in the US. Like, it totally would not surprise me if there's like like some kind of... I feel like Ronald Reagan was some sort of equity chief or something and tried to depoliticize.
Honey, that means we'll all be poor. I want to teach my kids right, but it is so hard to find age-appropriate material to teach them about the principles of freedom. The blocks are the supply.
But I think this was the thing that stood out to me. I like the fact that she has gone out and bought her Pride-themed Jenga set. The official Jenga set of Pride 2021. And it never... I thought this was going to be a thing. Like, I thought that this was going to, like... I don't, like,
go
be
into some sort of joke or something.
like, there's going to be, like, a sort of, like, homophobic bit. But no, this is just the Jenga set that they have, apparently.
Yeah, that bit was weird to me as well.
I can see from a design perspective, if it might just blend in. If it was, like, normal Jenga, it might just blend into this horrible, horrible flat.
Do you think someone bought this Pride Jenga and got fired, but they didn't have time to go out and buy normal Jenga? It's like, we're gonna fuck it, use the Pride one. We'll do it now. Use the Pride one.
Or like it just didn't sort of pop on screen enough. So like some poor kid that's there on like an internship, just being like, I don't know. I thought this was gonna be a legitimate film gig. Just had to like paint each block and was like,
oh God.
Screw you. But no, it just never gets commented on.
And when people want them, that's demand.
Is that what Dad meant when he said you're too demanding?
I also like... I don't understand why they used a Jenga block for that either. This is the supply, and when people want... The blocks are supply, and people want them, it's demand. Why is it a Jenga block?
That's how Jenga works. You famously want the blocks. You take the block out and you keep it. That's how Jenga works. And at the end, there is no tower, and that's the end of the game.
But the implication is, like, as you keep going, it becomes inherently more unstable. Like...
It's actually a very deep take on the sort of housing market and building shitty houses. Ketra Kralek is saying hi, Tom, and nice to meet you, John.
Nice to be introduced to a username.
And I also just don't know how the like, she is
The old wife,
Like,
the old ball and
like,
chain.
classic joke. And like the fact she goes along with it is like that, and she's meant to be the character in this that's like happy. Like I don't know, that just like is happy and likes life and exists in this world as a fulfilled human being. And then it's like, oh, my husband fucking hates me.
There's some deep lore going on about a family, an unhappy family, and a child is gone to communism to escape the desolate home life of a man who hates his wife and a wife who hates her child.
This kid's like, mum would be happy. Mum would be happy if the patriarchy and capitalism fell. Okay.
Abolish the heteronormative nuclear family.
Marina has come up with the best take on the why the Jenga is even more confusing. In that Marina in the Jenga exemplifies taking things from the bottom and adding them to the top.
Yeah.
And it topples extremely uneasily. So, but the Jenga, watching the world added, but the Jenga tower does fall like capitalism. This was great. After your debate video, was it Understanding Economics that was sort of saying, but like you can also use streaming as like a form of collective knowledge production. I feel like we've done that there.
We are breaking down the barriers of one-sided knowledge production through analysis of Jenga.
Classic boomer humor. It really is. It really is. It's going for a very specific audience.
Yeah, take my wife, take her.
Just the follow-up, the next advert, it's just this guy in his the husband in his house on his own reading the books that they're about to try and sell us, just being like...
Plot twist, it's Lawrence Fox.
I did. Lawrence has been divorced again! Billy! Luke Box is saying, do I mean unlearning economics? I did, and I've no idea what I said. It's very warm here. What did I say? I might have said anything. Who knows?
Learning economics, I think.
Did I?
Mate, I don't remember.
I sort of undid the pun. Okay, let's find out how we're going to learn about freedom.
Luckily, I now have...
That shot also lingers slightly too long to the point where they're like about to crease. Oh wait, he's going to actually have quite a lot of fun with the Jenga in the background, I think, by the looks of it.
The Tuttle Twins to help us. The Tuttle Twins is a series of books written for freedom-loving parents that teach correct principles about free markets in clear and relatable stories.
My children love learning about free markets.
What do you want to read tonight? This lovely children's book? No, I want to learn about supply and demand. What's the overhead, Mum?
Like it might be. I might have something. I don't know. This plot has to be very good. Twins. The Tuttle Twins.
Like, why? That's not a good name.
The
Tuttle Twins.
Like, you'd have thought they'd come up with more engaging names for each book. Like, I don't know.
Judge Dredd comes in halfway and just.
Like, did you have like the magic key? When you were learning to read, like Biff and Chip.
Yeah, I had Biff and Chip and Kipper. Yeah.
Like, they at least like that. I feel like this is basically the magic key, but for like, radicalized boomers.
I'll tell you one thing I don't remember from Biff, Chip and Kipper is the plot lines.
No, I don't even remember where they were. The Bigfoot Mystery, The Strange Old House, but like they're good titles. That none of them are called The Law.
What do you want to read tonight, my lovely son? Mum, let's read The Law.
The Law. I want to find out about the law. Which, if you're trying to push the her whole pitch so far has been freedom. The law being a system in which you definitely trade off, like, in good ways and bad, but like
I guess maybe they're not the libertarian brand of conservative if they're reading one on the law, unless the whole book is about how the law is bad and that's why it's so ominous. I mean, it looks like a nuclear blast is going off in the background of that.
It's like the opening of like Designated Survivor where they blow up the.
Or like Independence Day when the White House is about to get blown up.
And it's like the Tuttle twins strike again.
Maybe the Tuttle twins in the desolate, red, barren wasteland of the former United States, clutching the last of their food.
Maybe the Tuttle twins slowly take out the institutions of government, of big government.
Stories of right-wing terrorism. We've just blown up the White House. Hey,
cleaning their hands after of blood after destroying a DV. Well, no, what's the equivalent of the DVLA in America? the DMV.
DMV, yeah.
No driving licenses for us.
So instead of socialists, with over 2 million.
Burn. Golden rule. Yeah, so this must be your Christian, slightly authoritarian.
Yeah.
That sort of bit.
Even that cover as well just looks like it doesn't look inviting. It looks like the cover of like a 90s comic book that's overly violent.
They're gonna kill each other. It's just like them fight. It's just them facing off against each other with a big stick each. And just
someone's eye's gonna get gouged out with a spoon or something, and you're gonna get 4 panels of really detailed viscera.
It's do unto others as you would have them do to you, and then just one of them just caving the other one's skull in.
Yes, do unto others until they would do unto you, and they become increasingly paranoid because they both hate themselves and each other.
Then only one Tuttle twin will leave here. Oh man, what is gonna happen next? There was someone had also added some pictures. I'll try and find them in a minute. Pictures from a issue of it, I think. Oh, one of the books.
Million copies sold. These books are the best way to teach your child real-world topics not covered by most school curriculum.
Mom, I demand cookies. There's no more supply.
Oh. So if you have offspring...
Just this kid's gonna starve, and it's well, at least he learned a lesson. I don't know what...
I like the implication that, that the communists don't understand supply and demand. What that they're just going that we want something, but there's no supply, but we can't get our heads around this concept.
But he had the cookies at least before. Now there is no. Why is this more positive? That this poor child is not allowed cookies but has to eat. I can't even see what that one says. Serfdom. Oh my god, is this the road to serfdom? But they're in a.
Oh my god, is that Hayek?
Oh my god, it is! No, it is! I was joking! Oh my god, I was joking. It's called Road to Serfdom, but obviously surf spelt like surfboard, and they're in a convertible going down. Oh my god, I need.
They're the heroes, right? If they're in the car on the road to serfdom, that has some implications about the type that implies they're on the road to serfdom, not you are. What?
And they're driving. Why are these children driving as well? I suppose the DMV's gone, so they've...
That's them driving away from their Red Sky again. Clearly, they've set a giant forest fire or something.
I can't. If I search for, oh, here we go. The Tuttle twins and the Road to Serfdom. Oh my goodness! It is based on. Okay, we'll finish watching this video, and then we have to read more about the Tuttle twins and the road. I might buy a copy of this book, just to read it.
The miraculous pencil must be Adam Smith's stuff as well. That must be about the production of pencils.
What is there? There's messed up market. There's food truck fiasco. See, some of them have got like names where you'd go, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. Like, a child would, the road to surf, like.
The laws. They couldn't think of a pun for the law.
That was like just a stand-in title. That
not like, I don't know, like legal loopholes or something. Just like the law.
It's one step from it just accidentally being called lorem ipsum because they forgot to change the. Okay, we need to get to the end of this, and then we need to read about the road to serfdom because it might be incredible.
As someone who knows a lot about neoliberalism, I think the road to serfdom might be an interesting read for me.
I feel like if there was a book, I don't know, how could you do like the Communist Manifesto as a kid's book?
There have been anime versions. There have been illustrated versions of the Communist Manifesto. I think there's been some attempts at children's book versions of. I'd be amazed if there wasn't children's book versions of the Communist Manifesto. Actually, it's like an easy enough thing to make a children's book, I reckon. Obviously. Capital, on the other hand,
just the story of one little ball of wool that wanted to become a shirt.
There's Lenin sitting there going, "Where's all my value?"
I feel like you could make it some sort of like hero's journey as it gets traded for as £10 of X get traded for 20 yards of.
A magical sequence as labor imbues the linen with value.
Oh man, right, okay.
And don't want them supporting socialism, then click the link and order the Tuttle Twins books today.
Well, apparently they all live in the same house.
Is that the same? No, that's different. I like the fact that Golden Rule and the Law are the two that they're like, yeah, let's put these in. They're people are gonna adore to. They're gonna be the ones that are gonna hook people in.
It really does look like stock footage for a DFS sale, though.
Yeah. It's all just like, I don't know. That sofa's probably a bit. I mean, I say this because it's very warm. I wouldn't want to be sat on that sofa in this weather.
No, not a fan of leather sofas.
Ketcher in the chat is saying, offended by the use of jazz on this. I think it's funky. I'd use this in a video and ignore all the comments that said it was annoying. Okay, last couple of seconds of this beautiful advert. On my weekend with the kids, I always read them the Tuttle Twins and the Law.
Yeah. What, Dad? Why did you get a divorce? Because I wouldn't stop reading the Tuttle Twins to your mother in bed.
This is how the law unfairly victimizes men as fathers and takes away their. Okay, right. We have to find. Okay, so. So there are many issues or sort of installments, would you call them, of the Tuttle Twins?
I think publications is the right word.
Entries into the
novelization.
Like, such good naming though. Like, when they had the idea for this, they're like, they must have just taken the afternoon off. And just been like,
the road to serfdom.
They're just like
they're going surfing. Is it pronounced serfdom? Like, is that?
Don't say that as though I'm gonna know.
But like, is it spelled SURF-dom? Like,
Yeah, I've sent you the link, and you will get a. Oh, this message failed to send. Try again. Okay, it has sent to you now. Has sent to you now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and serfdom, like, written on a surfboard.
Yeah.
Which is.
I want to know how that pun plays into it. How are we combining surf and surf here?
I like that. So in the chat, Watching the World has been doing the research for us and has said that Sci-Hub sadly don't have it, so you'll have to buy them, and that would involve giving questionable people money. Surely there's got to be like a second-hand market for this stuff. No one's holding on for it for too long.
Z Library, maybe? Like.
Whoa. Okay, Lich2294 is saying these people unironically wrote a children's novel out of Atlas Shrugged as well.
Oh, yes!
Do you know whether it's an entry in the Tuttle Twins saga, or is it...
God, I'm so excited.
Atlas Shrugged. Sometimes I start these streams and I'm like, I don't know if there's going to be enough hashtag content to
I'm glad you thought about that before talking to me.
The internet always provides. Just any time. I'm like, what if I ask John about debate, and then he's like, yep, and then okay. So someone has written for Current Affairs an article about it. The Tuttle Twins. Oh, and the really bad case of libertarian propaganda. So it obviously does have a slightly more libertarian... Well, I guess, Road to Serfdom, I guess. Okay, there is...
Libertas Institute, yeah.
The Tuttle... Okay, the first book of the series, the Tuttle Twins learn about the law. So the law is the first one. Oh, so they're all based... I think they are literally all based on, like, works of sort of right-wing scholarship, and so it wouldn't...
The fifth book in the acclaimed Tuttle Twins series brings F.A. Hayek's The Road to Serfdom to life. Acclaimed by whom? I'd be interested in.
The Tuttle Twins and the Miraculous Pencil. The kids learn the staple economist story that no one knows how to make a pencil because all of its components are made in different places around the world. I think you were correct there. The Road to Serfdom. Dedicated to little-known selfless philanthropist Charles Koch, the Tuttle family is dismayed to find the road to their beach house is highly congested and the stores nearby are closing down. Ethan and Emily like playing at the beach, but they loved shopping at La Playa Lane. The displeased vacationing white family soon learned that a few years ago, voters approved a master transportation plan, which in addition to building a new road to another beach town nearby, bizarrely closed off the existing road. This is the kind of contrived parody of public planning that market fundamentalists imagine is to blame for capitalism's problems.
Oh, but this is brilliant though. It is such a brilliant illustration of how neoliberal economic policy is inherently anti-democratic. What a great example of how they fucked themselves there. The voters chose the wrong thing. There should be no control of any planning by democratic means. This is really highlighting the inherent trend to authoritarianism of neoliberalism. Brilliant stuff, Tuttle Twins.
So the kids then go to work with their uncle, an alleged journalist, and interviews soon show the big government road. I don't know whether that's what it's called in the book or whether that's our writer Rob Larson for Current Affairs calling it that. Big government road has caused unintended consequences, damn it. From lowering home values on the old road to raising traffic near the new one. I hate it when I build a road and traffic uses it. And the state used eminent domain to build the highway through a family dairy farm. Family dairy farms being a famously profitable business which never involves government support.
Yeah, and everybody owns their own second beach house.
100% Bill Gates owns the land on which that farm exists, and they get like half of the costs of running the farm are paid for by the government subsidy. Businesses closing on the family's favourite beach can't afford to move to the other beach town, Serfdom, and the rents there are very high for businesses that can. This is blamed on central planning when a few people make decisions for everybody, even though the story indicates there was a public vote.
So that's what I'm saying. This is what a good illustration of that central contradiction of neoliberalism.
Also, like, the fact that the problem really is that you don't have a system which makes both of those places nice to be. Yeah. Right? One of them becomes the place that is the nice one and has all the investment and all the businesses want to be, and the other one is the one that gets abandoned and all its infrastructure destroyed. Like,
there's some artificial scarcity going on. I wonder if there's any sort of economic system which speaks to that phenomenon.
So it's called the Atlas Network. I think, is this the people who publish it?
I do enjoy making fun of children's books.
It's much easier than having to do a critique of the road to SERF. DOM.
To be honest, it's not that much different. like you're maybe a Nobel laureate economist, but you're still shite.
The Atlas Network, I don't, maybe, do these people publish it, or are they just writing about it? Okay, the Atlas Shrugged one. Okay, I've worked out which one is Atlas Shrugged now. Okay, let's go to, where's this article about? Just the road. So it's called The Search for Atlas is the one that's based on Atlas Shrugged. But the name, The Road to Serfdom, just fills me with joy.
It's a real good one.
Okay, so I think this is going to be like a...
It's literally about a road. Fucking dipshits.
Just brainstorming that one in the writer's room from the Tuttle twins.
They've got a whiteboard. They've got some road to serfdom written down. Going, where do we thread this needle? The road to serfdom. What if there's an actual road?
It's like the Libertas Institute and the Atlas Network. Like they've just got like about 3 names that they just call everything. And like, oh, God, I'll make it a bit more Latin this time. The farm had never owned that land. Like,
yeah. I mean, farms famously are owned by a lot of the time, big corporate farmers.
So the writer is a California native and Brigham Young University graduate. Connor currently resides in Lehi, who knows, Utah, with his wife and 2 children. I love author bios and the way they always end with currently lives in town with his wife and 2 children.
Yeah, currently is estranged from his wife and 2 children.
Without his wife or 2 children. Oh my God, so this backstory is amazing. 3 years ago, I scoured the internet looking for literature that would teach my young kids the idea of liberty. I just love the idea of him going through and going, I just can't find an accessible version of The Road to Serfdom for children. What is wrong with, I would have thought that the free market would have provided that for him. Yeah. There was basically nothing. No books that I could buy. So we started creating them through the Tuttle Twins series, where each book is based on a classic liberty text. Mm-hmm. I love liberty texts, such as Bastiat's The Law, Leonard Reed's I, Pencil, Hazlitt's Economics in One Lesson, and more. The books have been selling like crazy, helping us reach an entirely new generation, brackets, and their parents, many of whom are not familiar with these books or ideas. Yeah, because it's like, the intention is that it like slips in, isn't it?
Yeah.
That it gets into the bookshop and someone accidentally buys it, and their kid is then reading the work of Hayek.
Imagine accidentally buying this book thinking it was like a fun schoolboy adventure about like going surfing, and then suddenly your children's book's about government public policy on roads. Like, what the fuck is this?
Do you know what? My niece loves surfing.
Yeah.
This looks great. A book about a whole town built around surfing. She is gonna love this.
I bet there's a competition between the surfers.
They're currently being translated into other language. I mean, it's like Veggie Tales, isn't it? But for like libertarians, I think. That the idea is that you tune in for the fun Tuttle twins, who, if I can make this picture bigger, look pretty cool.
Yeah.
They've sort of like pretty
sunglasses,
cool.
Hawaiian
They're leaning on the front of the. Car which they're driving. How
oh my
old
god, these
are they?
illustrations are bad.
How old are these children then? Maybe they're not children. Maybe they're just twins that hang out because no one wants to listen to them.
Yeah. Oh my god. We're throwing a party in university. Shall we invite such and such? Oh no, if we invite them, they'll bring the Tuttle twins along, and then we'll get fucking hours of. They'll try to talk to us about Frederick Hayek again. Last time I invited them, the Tuttle twins cornered me. They were talking about the road to serfdom for 4 hours.
Can't even go to the beach with them without them going on about about eminent domain. I do love like it reveals something. I think like going back to the advert itself, there's definitely something about the way in which they presume that children are doing politics in a way that like that they're I don't know, what is it that their children are doing that they're like, my child is not just doing a thing, they are doing a socialism, like, and that therefore their child needs to actually learn about.
Like most children's books are pretty like.
We must see.
From what I imagine, from what I remember, are just like standard be nice and share.
And they're like, oh, not again. They won't get my child.